You found the skeleton. How would you tell people that? You personally, how would you decide?
Well, interesting question. I don't know. I'd have to do some research on that.
Alright, look dudes, I'm gonna figure out this whole intro thing, and we're gonna get it right. So hold on with me right here. I'm gonna shrink it down. I'm gonna shrink it a little bit because it's 4K normally. It's a native 4K, and I forgot to do this beforehand because I'm an idiot.
Well, interesting question.
So here we go, ready?
I'd have to do some research.
This is the real intro.
How would you decide?
I muted it still. Okay, one more time. One more time. That's all we need. That's all we need is one more time.
You found the skeleton. How would you tell people that? You personally, how would you decide?
Well, interesting question. I don't know. I'd have to do some research on that.
Alright, there it is. We finally got it. I am so sorry, everybody. Technical difficulties, right? Alright, so before we get into anything, I want to say we have, very generously, 2 super chats that were given before we even went live and screwed everything up. What was it, 4 times?
That's unlikely. It was like 13 or 14.
Oh, 13 or 14. Okay, fair enough. One is from Pichu, who says, Pichu wants you to have a Dr. Pepper. And that was for $5 US. And here's what I will tell you, Pichu. My rule is if people give me a super chat and they want me to spend it on a particular thing, as long as it is sufficient for me to get one of those things, I will do so. So, as a result of your generosity, next time I go grocery shopping, I will indeed get a Dr. Pepper. Probably like a 2-liter or something, I don't know.
And then, how much more do we need for me to wear a tutu?
We still need $97.80. Wait, no, $197.87.
Oh, we're on our way.
Yeah, definitely. And then we get for $4.99 dollary dues from Ian Chen because it's Dab. And thank you very much, guys. I really do appreciate it. Even though apparently I can't stream because I entirely forgot that I needed to change my intro. Because starting with this stream and subsequent videos that I make, so with my pre-recorded videos, there's going to be some delay as always. That intro that you saw is going to be the new intro, and the outro music is going to be slightly changed because the, I believe, pretty much final or actually final version of the song has been recorded and mixed.
It is the final version. It may end up being a demo if we were to get it re-recorded professionally.
Okay.
But we're not spending any more money on it or any time redoing it. We did that in our little rehearsal studio and weren't happy with how it came out.
Okay. Go to Sonic and get a vanilla Dr. Pepper? I don't even think there's a Sonic within easy driving distance of me. Like, the nearest fast food places are like a Jack in the Box, a Taco Bell, and a Burger King. Then a bit farther out, I can get Wendy's or In-N-Out. And then if I think there's a Five Guys not too far, although Five Guys is sort of like fast casual, not quite fast food, but whatever.
But the Jack in the Box is real close.
Yeah, it is. I go out of the parking lot and I take a left, and then I take another left into the parking lot of the Jack in the Box. It's there. Was it 2 blocks away?
Something like that.
Yeah. So.
It's like the only thing I know from where you live. There's the Jack in the Box. I'll be there in 30 seconds.
There's the 7-Eleven across the street from the Jack in the Box.
I never see that because I always look to the right.
Fair enough. All right, so I hope you guys liked the slightly new format. You might have been used to it a little bit if you saw Eric with Erica, where it was similar. So yeah, we've got the chat on screen. Bent Hovind is always going to be easily visible unless he turns his camera off.
Why would I ever do that?
I don't know. But and we're always going to have Kent easily visible, so that way I have less work to do. Oh, and we have another super chat for $2.99 dollar dues from Ian Chen. Will Dapper Dino make an appearance today? Oh, you want me to like have an animated thing or something? I guess I could do with.
Oh, there you are. If you look real close on the bridge of that Klingon vessel, he's there, looking out the window.
There it is.
You got to catch it right when it comes by.
Okay.
Yeah, there. Oh no, there's a lot of glare. He's in there though. You can tell.
Wait, are they saying that I'm muted? I'm not muted. Okay, good. Neither of us are muted. No, you're not. For a second there, I was like, oh no. Does that mean we're muted?
I can hear you.
Okay. Alright, so, Diaper Dino. Oh, he said Diaper Dino made an appearance. Oh, yeah.
Diaper Dino.
Diaper Dino is what Team Standing has taken to calling me, while also trying to take the moral high ground somehow. Which is just bizarre. But that is not something I'm going to get into right now. That is actually something that's coming. I am collecting a whole list of things to deal with that issue. So don't worry. Anyway, let's go into this. We've been taking way too long with the preamble here. We're almost at 10 minutes. All right, so well, I want to get into it. Here we go.
All right.
As many of you may know, but some of you may not if you're new, this is Kent with Bent, and make sure you please do hit like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're always notified when there's new Dapper Dino content. But we have some drinking rules for Kent with Bent. We do not recommend that you follow them. In fact, we take no... Oh, there's a Godzilla, and that's a drink trigger, so we'll take a quick drink for Godzilla. Was that you, Bent?
Mm-mm. But it is one of the rules that when you hear Godzilla or
Mothra,
yeah, then you take a drink.
There are also...
I recommend the kombucha version or the vodka version.
I'm doing
water. Water.
I'm doing the rum version. So, yeah, so when Godzilla or Mothra come by, and that includes super chats, including the channel member exclusive Mothra and Godzilla stickers. So if that happens, we take a drink. Yep, Icarus has just demonstrated a Godzilla sticker. So
it has to be a super chat sticker to count.
It has to be a super chat sticker to count. Otherwise, we would just get inundated with Godzilla and Mothra.
4 minutes and we're all, poisoned.
Right. Now, if you would like access to those, there's a join button below this video. Memberships start at $1.99. In addition to getting the emojis and the little icons telling people that you joined, you also get access to the patron/member Discord server, where you will get early access to my videos. Well, not all of them, but most of them. There's one up there right now. As well as pretty easy access to me. I usually get back to that within a day. Anyway, we also drink whenever Kent Hovind says something that is too stupid, and we just kind of have to. We also take a drink whenever he gets something right without quoting anyone. If he's just quoting someone, it doesn't count. If he gets it right on his own, then we'll take a drink. We also take a drink whenever Kent Hovind tells a joke and it doesn't land, and usually that one we have to actually go hold up, was that actually a joke? And then, yes, it was a joke, so we go back to it. Okay. Mm-hmm. And am I forgetting any?
I don't remember. Maybe.
Okay. Oh, and there's Icarus displaying all of our member emojis, and I think we're 3 members away from being able to get a new emoji. So, I'm actually thinking about inserting some emojis based on the Speculative Evolution project. So if you guys have been following that, that'd be cool. Alright, so we have about 16 minutes of Kent Hovind. I think we can get through it.
I think so.
Especially since he's probably going to start preaching at some point, and I don't care about his preaching. So.
Right.
Here we go.
Certainly not forever. You'd agree with that, right?
Oh, that was him talking about how long you could have a solar system going around with things going retrograde. And no, the answer is not forever, but the answer is on the order of billions of years at least. Like 20, 30 billion years without any orbital problems. And the solar system probably won't even last that long because the sun's going to explode. So, Oh, and by the way, we're now $190 from you wearing a tutu on stream. Nice. Yeah, let's get it going.
That resets every stream, so if we don't make that value tonight,
yeah, that's true. It's a single stream goal. I mean, the chat did get me the $100 stream goal, which got me in a tutu. So it could happen. It could happen.
I still have the tutu on my wish list. I'll buy it as soon as.
There you go.
We hit 200 stream.
200. Here we go.
That's brilliant.
Is there some kind of time limit here?
Yes, there is. It's just really long.
I don't know what it is, but I would think logic would say, yeah, there's an obvious time limit.
Okay. So, you don't know what I'm taking a drink. That was already stupid. So you don't know what the time limit is, but you know it's less than what the scientists say, is basically what he's coming down with right now.
Logically, there has to be a time limit. Therefore, it must be less than 6,000 years.
Right. That's the entire argument there. And it's just like, why? Why can't it be more? No reason, because Kent doesn't want it to be.
It can't have happened for billions of years.
Why not?
So if somebody says the universe was created 6,000 years ago by an all-wise creator, well, then this is no problem. Stuff like this poses no problem for the creationist. But
I would tend to agree, yeah, it's not a problem for creationism.
I think it does for those who want to say it's billions and billions of years old.
Why? You have to actually give a reason why your estimate for how long the system can persist is both accurate and precludes the estimated existence of the system.
Look, logically, there has to be a limit. So there you go. That's all it takes.
But it's the same thing as me saying, okay, I don't think you can drive your car forever on a single tank of gas.
Right.
That is accurate. But does that mean you couldn't get to my place on a single tank of gas? Well, it depends on how far your car can go on a single tank. And unless I know that, I can't estimate whether it's impossible or not.
Right.
So, for some people in the chat, yeah, it probably is impossible. For Bent Hovind, no. If he started on a full tank of gas, he could definitely get to my place on that same tank of gas.
Mm-hmm.
So,
maybe a half tank, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, I probably could have a half tank.
So, Producer Dane, I do not have a camera. I could turn on... You know what I could turn on? Oh, it's a little late. Let me turn on my buddies. I have some buddies here.
I have a camera on my cell phone.
Get my friends, and we'll put them up here. We'll shrink them down a little bit. There we go.
Yeah, there they are.
They're my friends. Me and my friends. I am actually thinking about doing some kind of... I looked into trying to get like a virtual avatar that will move with me that's based on my actual character. Man, is that expensive. That's like $8,000. So,
$8,000?
yeah.
Well, now we know what the new goal is for this stream. It's not 200 anymore. It's $8,000.
If you guys get me $8,000, first of all, I probably would have to put it towards more important things than that. But I can't imagine why anyone would give me that much money.
You just said. That's fine. No,
if
that's
one
fine.
person wants to super chat enough for me to get $8,000 out of it, specifically for the avatar, then yeah, I will do it. 100%.
It's true because YouTube has to take their cut.
Yeah, they take a 1/3 cut.
Oh, so you got what? $12,000 you'd have to donate.
Yeah, basically.
Tell you what, just donate $50,000.
Don't donate
Each
$50,000. No, don't do that. That's stupid. I only want from people what they can afford and want to give. Anything else, I do not want.
The Bible says, in 2 Peter 3, and in the book of Psalms, identical verse, part of the verse, says, the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. Okay. Might be a good bonus question if you can find out which psalm says the heavens shall pass away.
Oh, drink for Godzilla. Dead air, Kent. Come on.
So the New Testament writer here is quoting an Old Testament verse about the heavens shall...
Did Kent just have a mini stroke?
Oh, no, he was writing something down.
Okay, fine, but that should have been cut out. That's the kind of thing you edit
that would require editing.
Oh, goodness. But wait, we've seen them edit, because they cut back and forth between his slides.
Random jump cuts for no reason.
Atheist Junior asked about mocap for lip syncing. So it's a little bit tricky to do mocap with a dinosaur mouth, because like it really doesn't work the same way as a mammal. I can do mocap for lip syncing with more human-like characters, but I can't do it real time with my current setup. I would need some expensive software to really do that real time. Yeah, so I can do very, very basic lip sync with some of my VR avatar stuff, but like it's not great. It's just okay. So, but yeah, I could, if I got extremely expensive software with my current setup, actually do some real-time lip sync with a 3D avatar and whatnot.
Pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with a fervent heat, and the earth shall be burned up. Jehovah's Witnesses teach the earth is going to last forever. Is that what the Bible teaches? No. Jesus said, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away.
But it also says that there's going to be a new heavens and a new earth, and the Jehovah's Witnesses think that most of them are going to end up on the new earth. So, stop. You know, I'm going to take a drink for Kent Hovind not being able to accurately relay Jehovah's Witnesses doctrine. Maya...
I can't argue against the straw man it.
Maya says that I have expensive tastes. My pantry right now includes Spam and eggs, and those are some of the most expensive things, and a 10-pound bag of potatoes. Like, yeah. And RJM Truth says he slams other Christians, and well, for Kent, Jehovah's Witnesses don't count as Christians. And I will say that unlike most Christian groups, the Jehovah's Witnesses are a cult in the sense of a destructive cult. Like, they are damaging to members in a way that is not true for more broad Christianity. Of course, they still make Spam, Maya. The great thing about Spam is it keeps very well. I just put it in a sealed container, you know, in the refrigerator after I open it. And then I take little slices and I crisp them up and I toss them in with some eggs or something. And yeah, it's a nice little crunchy bit of salt. Don't salt whatever you're going to put it in, though. Just leave the salt out because it's super salty. I don't know where you are that Spam is expensive, but like 1 can of Spam, I go through that in like about a week or so.
So these guys teaching the earth is going to last forever simply don't read their Bible. They're wrong. All right? So this is the Big Bang in the Bible, the great noise. If somebody says, do you believe in the Big Bang? I say, oh, yes, I do, and you better get saved and get ready for it. The Big Bang is coming soon to a city near you. It's coming.
He's been saying that for decades now. I kind of feel like it should have happened, or he should just stop saying it.
Folks, get ready. Now, the Big Bang Theory has some serious problems. First of all, it does not explain where the matter came from. It does.
That's not...
Bent, the theory of gravity has some serious problems. It doesn't explain where matter came from. Bent, the germ theory of disease has some serious problems. It doesn't explain where life came from.
Or matter. It doesn't
or matter. Hey, did you know that the oxygen theory of fire has some serious problems because it doesn't explain where oxygen came from in the first place?
Not just oxygen, all matter.
True. It's just like, dude, theory is not about that, so that it doesn't explain that is not a problem. I'm taking a drink, because that was amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid. It's pretty bad. So when I said name one, Kent, what I meant was name one actual problem.
Okay, Maya. I'm sorry, but we gotta get through the Spam thing. Maya, here's my recommendation. Find your nearest Hawaiian barbecue place. Order the Spam Musubi. Trust me. It's a bit of nicely crisped up Spam on a bed of sushi rice, wrapped in nori, and drizzled with a teriyaki type sauce. It's delicious.
And they're humongous. I've never had a small one.
Yeah. And Megan Fox's Giant Boob says, people have been saying that for over 2,000 years the world will end. Well, I mean, it will. Why would they stop now? They should at least get the hint that making predictions about the imminent passing of the world is a thing you probably shouldn't do if you want to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see what else.
When people do that, it turns people off from that.
Yeah.
Yes, the answer is I did see the Kent Hovind rap freestyle. It's pretty cool. It's pretty great.
Oh yeah, I did see that too. That was fun.
It's pretty great.
And Atheist Junior says, cut up Spam very thin and cook it like bacon. Yeah, no, that's good stuff. Yeah. Look, there's a lot of bad ways to eat Spam. I'm not going to deny that. There are also some good ways.
All I'm going to say is when I see Spam Musubi on my DoorDash or whatever, I get it. Because I tried it once and I'm like, that's way better than I thought it would be.
That's the same way.
That's the only Spam I've had in the last 15 years. I've had like 3 separate times I've had a Spam Musubi and it's good.
Sometime I'll make you some like eggs and Spam or something. No, that's good.
Sounds great.
Okay, here we go.
It does not explain where the energy came from. It does not explain where the laws came from. It does not explain why we have what's called retrograde motion.
Those aren't... What do those things have to do with the Big Bang Theory, Kent Hovind?
Bent, did you know that the germ theory of disease is really bad at telling you how to play pool?
Is it?
Yeah. It's really bad at that.
It must be a terrible theory then.
Yep, let's throw
There's
it
a lot
out.
of problems with that theory.
Wait, Pichu, where are you that bacon is cheaper than Spam? It's way more expensive here. My goodness. A week's worth of bacon is like up twice as much as a week's worth of Spam for me.
Another problem with the Big Bang that they've really tried to avoid is the fact that if there were a Big Bang, the matter should be fairly evenly distributed throughout space.
And at a cosmic scale, it is. It turns out when you zoom out far enough, the universe has a pretty broadly consistent density.
But then you zoom in more and it kind of clumps together because of, what is that word again? Gravy? Gravy!
No,
yeah!
Gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Gravity.
Gravity, Kent!
Oh, yeah. My goodness. And the fluctuations, or the fluctuations in the cosmic background radiation are exactly what was predicted for the Big Bang Theory in order to explain the actual distribution of matter in the universe. It's almost like all these independent lines of evidence are all keep pointing towards the Big Bang Theory being correct. Crazy, isn't it? I know. RJM Truth says he doesn't eat bacon anymore, not because it's unhealthy, but because it's a little expensive. So here's what I do. I'll buy a pack of bacon, and I'll save the bacon grease. And then when I run out of the bacon grease, I'll buy another pack of bacon. And one pack's worth of bacon grease usually lasts me for a while, because I keep it in the refrigerator and sealed up and whatnot. So, yeah. Yeah, Q Desert File. Unfortunately, if I want to cue him, I would have to go get the video and censor it a little bit, because this is a PG-13 stream. And, yeah. I don't want some guy from years ago to break my my one F-bomb per stream rule.
But it's not. It is clumpy. There's a whole bunch of stuff together called a galaxy, and then zillions of miles and nothing.
Yeah.
How much space is there between here and Mars, for instance?
About an AU?
What, about 45 million miles at the closest? Between here and the Sun, 93 million miles, roughly?
About an AU?
There's a whole lot of nothing, folks. Just plain nothing.
A lot of nothing.
Yep.
Big Bang Theory should have everything evenly distributed.
No, because gravity's still a thing, Kent.
Right, that's the
thing. Kent Hovind, do you know about gravity?
He claims he does. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's... You taking another drink for that?
No, I'm drinking all these pills.
Alright. But, yeah. And again, the universe is roughly evenly distributed at large enough scales.
And it just simply isn't that way. There's a great article in Creation magazine, December '99, about the physics behind the Big Bang, how it just can't be true. By the way, if you want to really get a fascinating magazine, it only comes once every 3 months, and it's $22 a year, so you get 4 copies.
That's kind of a lot per copy, isn't it? Like, it's been a while since I had a magazine subscription, but I feel like it's less than that for a monthly subscription for most magazines.
I don't even know what a magazine subscription is anymore.
That's true. Who subscribes to magazines? Weird.
What's a magazine?
It's sort of like a newspaper, but it's in color and it comes less often.
I don't understand.
Okay.
Well worth it, though. Creation magazine, I'll give you a number you can call if you want to get that. Awesome articles, just very well done. It's 800-350-3232. That'd be a magazine well worth subscribing to. 800-350-3232. That's up in...
Wait. Do we think that's still a current number?
We think it might be, and someone might test it, but it won't be me.
Oh, I'm a little tempted to, but I don't know what... I feel like I might get in trouble for that.
Yeah, it's just a phone number.
Yeah.
Look, where did you get this video from?
The internet?
This is on his YouTube channel?
It was on someone else's. I don't think he actually has this entire series on his YouTube.
We don't need to call any numbers or anything.
Okay.
Published in Australia, actually. Creation Ex Nihilo is the name of it. And the back issues are
Nihilo.
like $5 each, and they've been doing this since, 10 years. If you really want to get a tremendous...
Oh, yeah, and this is like in $2006, isn't it? That's even more in today's dollars. Yeah. That's like $8 or $9 an issue. That's disgusting. My goodness. Especially for Creationist greed.
This library, you could spend $100 probably and get all of the back issues, and or maybe $200 or something. It's just really, really good stuff in there. Enough to read for a long time. But that article goes into the science behind the Big Bang Theory. It's just a big dud. The second law of thermodynamics, and we must hurry here, says everything is tending toward disorder.
Kind of, yeah.
Now, there are several different ways this is phrased, okay? Some people say, in any exchange, there's a net loss. Several ways this is...
Well, no one should say that, because that's stupid, so we're going to take a drink. There are exchanges that decrease entropy. Okay, so the actual... I'm going to get this out here, because people don't understand it much, and there's no really good reason why you should, unless you're doing a lot of engineering with heat engines and whatnot. So it's understandable why most people don't have a good grasp on the second law of thermodynamics. And the second law of thermodynamics says that in an isolated system, entropy must either stay the same or increase in any interaction. Okay, so it doesn't have to go up, it can stay the same, but if it's going to change, it must increase. Now, this rule is actually not a hard and fast rule, because entropy is a measure of the ability of the system to do work given the amount of energy in the system, and it's measured in joules per Kelvin, which I would like to say per degree Kelvin, but Kelvin is weird like that. You don't say degree Kelvin, so I mean whatever. But yeah, it's also not very well mapped onto chaos or disorder, as RJM Truth points out. And the other thing is, because entropy is a statistical phenomenon that is the result of the outworking of quantum mechanics, localized decreases in entropy that are spontaneous can and do happen in the universe. There's no technically there's no particular scale limit to how big these decreases in local entropy can be. But on average, entropy tends to increase in an isolated system, despite the occasional local drop in entropy as a result of essentially random quantum fluctuations. But the Earth is not an isolated system. The Earth is technically an open system because matter and energy can flow from the outside into it. However, it's usually reasonable to call it a closed system. In an open system, energy and matter can leave and enter the system and go back and forth between the system and the surroundings. In a closed system, energy can leave and enter the system, but matter may not. And in an isolated system, neither matter nor energy may leave the system. Andrew Cummings says, did you know that if the galaxy were the size of the US, the solar system would be something you could hold in your hand? Yes, I did. Although, if you were holding it, you could barely... I don't think you could see anything in it. Because everything would be too tiny. Because, yeah, everything's very, very, very tiny. But anyway, so that is a quick explanation of some concepts in thermodynamics and how they apply to various systems. And, of course, because the Earth is not an isolated system, the total amount of entropy on the Earth does not need to go up over time. It can go down, and yeah, if you look at least just the crust of the Earth, it does go down. I'm pretty sure that if you looked at the Earth overall, it probably actually does go up over time as, geological heat is released with volcanoes and whatnot. But don't quote me on that, because I'm not sure. It just seems like that's probably the case. But, yeah. Here we go.
This is phrased. All right. Who can define thermodynamics?
He's going to say heat power.
Tanya, heat power.
Oh, I got it right.
Very good.
By the way, that's not a definition. That's an explanation of the etymology, and Kent Hovind cannot figure out the difference. That's why he thinks dinosaurs are lizards. Is because it's from the Greek for terrible lizard, so it must just be a lizard. Ugh. Okay, here we go.
Heat power. What is it?
Oh, and by the way, I am seeing way fewer likes than viewers, guys. So
I know, right?
Come on,
everyone's just talking about spam and bacon prices. That's fine.
I mean, don't stop that, but give me a like while you're at it.
Give a thumbs up first, and then go right back to it.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
So here's one thing. It really does help the channel. And the last few months, I don't know. I think maybe YouTube has done something with the algorithm or something. But a lot of content creators I know have been having a rough time. So it really does help the algorithm if you like and comment and whatnot. And oh my goodness, there is a $25 super chat from Maya Atkinson who says, "Buy a goddamn pizza. I will use some of that money to buy a pizza, and I will eat it with my Dr. Pepper from Pichu Pichu." And there you go. That will be that. And then we got to double check.
That's awesome.
And we are $165 away from Bent Hovind wearing a tutu on the next stream.
We might make it happen.
You never know. You never know. I'm not holding my breath though.
Another more common term for cosmic evolution. Big Bang.
Oh, yay.
Cameraman, Eric.
I got it.
All right. Sorry about that.
Oh, Vandelli 1998 said a Spam pizza. I'd try a Spam, like a Spam and cheese pizza. But you gotta be careful with the tomato sauce, because it might get way too salty if you use a salty tomato sauce.
Let's see, the origin of life would be which one? Organic evolution. Crazen. There we go. All right. Let's see.
No.
The origin of...
no.
Look, you don't just get to
time-space matter.
these terms.
Tell that to Sal Cordova. So, in case you guys don't know, I am currently talking with a creationist named Sal Cordova, in the hopes of setting up a debate on the proper definition for fitness in evolutionary biology. It's pretty behind the scenes, and there's a lot of behind the scene, like sort of inside baseball sort of stuff going on. Not all of which is pleasant, but not from Sal. Sal has been an absolute stand-up guy. I have no complaints about Sal. I have heard that in the past he's been less pleasant, but my interactions with him have been nothing but pleasant. So until that changes, I will say nothing bad about Sal Cordova, other than that I think that he's wrong on the science. But yeah, Sal likes to redefine fitness, and hopefully we can get a conversation about that done. He has offered to simulcast it from my channel to his, and that way we can have sort of a debate or discussion where we're both live. So right now I think that's what we might do. There are a few other options. Conspiracy Cats apparently opened up a debate channel. I might see if Conspiracy Cats let me go on that channel, or maybe Modern Day Debate. So I don't know.
Could be cosmic evolution, Big Bang. Here we go. Okay.
We already did that, Kent.
When was the Humanist Manifesto first written? The first one.
Who cares?
33. There we go. Got several. Got that.
I'm drinking because it's just so stupid. Who cares? It's completely irrelevant. If the Humanist Manifesto had never been written, if secular humanism had never become a thing, evolution would remain true or false on the merits of the science.
Right.
That one. 1933. Oh, that's over there, end of the table. Don't eat that. Okay.
To be clear, if you're a secular humanist, I get why you would care, and that's fair. And I have nothing against secular humanists.
That's not what he's teaching on, though.
No, I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to clarify it for me.
Yeah. So it's irrelevant to his entire...
Right. I'm just saying that when I say who cares, I mean in this context. I mean, I'm not trying to be down on secular humanists.
The word universe means single spoken sentence.
No, it doesn't. It means a single thing that turns around as a result of the geocentric model of the universe that the Romans had. Take a drink.
Can he get one right?
No. I'm going to go ahead and guess no. And if I'm wrong, I will eat a potato.
I'm not getting involved in the potato bets anymore.
All right, fine. Because last time you had to eat a baked potato?
I chose to eat a baked potato. I had to eat a potato.
Right. But it was delicious.
But I wanted to eat a whole potato, and I figure the baked potato is the best way to do that.
Yeah. That's something you can add bacon to.
Potato skins look pretty good too, but hey, come on.
You have to eat the whole potato, yeah. I mean, if you skin your own potato, make potato skins, but then also eat the rest of the potato, that'd work.
It would work, but no, I just wanted to do a baked potato. It seemed like the best way to do it, because then I don't have to worry about it. I just know I'm done when I'm done.
Vandelli 1998 wonders how much meat I have. Total meat in my place right now is 1 unopened tin of Spam. I actually, unless you count eggs as meat, which I don't, I also have, I think, a dozen eggs, maybe 13 eggs.
Universe. There we go. All right. You didn't get that one, did you? See, you've got it. Universe. Single spoken sentence. How many times did Lucifer say, I will?
He doesn't even want the craisin.
Look, I'm going to go out and say craisins are good. I like craisins.
I don't remember the last time I had a craisin. I think I had them once. I'm sure they're fine.
I like them. I don't know.
You're giving treats out, and like, the kid's the one who's going to want the treats normally. It's like craisin, though. So he's like, I don't want this.
Yeah,
I just found that fun.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, I
Dude,
actually have Spam.
Like Skittles. Throw a little baggie of Skittles.
I feel
someone
like
gets it right.
I feel like at this point, I'm going to have to put on my community page an actual picture of my tin of Spam. Why is this so hard to comprehend? Spam is fine. It keeps well, and I can use as little or as much of it as I want in any given meal, unlike most meats where it's like, I mean, like you get a chicken breast, there's only so much you can cut that down before it becomes stupid. So, and also, I believe it was Bent Hovind 1998 said that he bets dinosaurs taste like chicken. Well, here's the crazy thing. Think about it. All chicken nuggets are dinosaur nuggets.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. This blew your minds.
Oh,
wait. Should I be a super big jerk?
I don't know.
All right.
Maybe.
Probably
not.
Probably not. All right. I won't be that big of a jerk. Here we go.
I have time.
One for big jerk, 2 for not big jerk.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, one for be a big jerk, and 2 for don't be a big jerk.
Everybody got one. Go give everybody one. Okay. Give them one. Just one. I just want. You want them. Whet their appetite. Okay. What is the Bible word that means the enlightened one?
Lucifer.
Very good. Right there. He got it right there, end of that table. Okay.
All right.
Okay, so the second law of thermodynamics tells us, basically, it boils down to what it means is, if you leave something alone for a while, it's either going to rot or rust or die or fall apart or break down. Absolutely nothing improves with time.
Well, that's stupid. Take a drink. Because, yeah, things improve with time. Take a look at computing technology. It turns out that not all physical processes are subject to the second law of thermodynamics. And I've now seen a whole lot of ones, so I'm going to be a giant jerk. Hey, everybody. You are all now consciously aware of your tongue. Have fun with that.
I hate you. Put this thing in my mouth!
I know, it sucks, doesn't it?
Everything is disintegrating.
It's
just take a look in the mirror and you will see, okay?
Kent, you're getting fat is not you disintegrating. It's literally you getting bigger. That's the exact opposite of disintegration. I'm taking a drink. How many drinks so far, King Draco? Dude, someone else would have to keep track with like one of those little clicker things that always go up by one.
Today's title came with Bent 44. I think it's 44. We're at 44.
Yeah, 44, and it is Hovind Without a Cause. Which, of course, is a play on Rebel Without a Cause, the famous James Dean movie. Hence the...
I thought that was Luke Perry.
No. No, it's not.
I didn't think that, really.
Rip in peace, James Dean. You died too young, although there's a fair chance you'd be dead by now anyway, but still, you died tragically. Just like Anton Yelchin.
Just like Luke Perry.
Anyway.
Although he wasn't as young, but he was pretty young.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't like it when celebrities whose work I enjoy die an untimely death, because I feel like I've been robbed of their future output. So, how many liters does it take for a Ceratosaurus to get drunk? So that's an interesting question, and one of the things there is that primates, like humans, have an unusually high tolerance for alcohol, as well as an evolved taste for it, which most other organisms do not have. And so most other organisms get drunk far faster and enjoy it much less than humans. So, yeah. I'm just gonna leave it there and leave the rest up to your imaginations.
Wrinkles, things just fall apart, right? Now,
Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. There's a book that I was supposed to read in college but forgot to, and then BS'd my way through the class talking about it. And no one noticed.
They noticed.
The Bible teaches that in Hebrews.
Hey, my professors didn't give me anything other than an A for that day's work, so...
Hebrews chapter 1. The heavens are the works of thy hands, they shall perish. They wax old as doth a garment. I believe this is also repeating one of the Psalms, if you want to find that one.
Okay, but it's not contradicting anything in science. No one in science says that the universe isn't going to reach heat death eventually. It just... that the eventual heat death of the universe doesn't mean therefore no evolution, and I'm taking a drink because that's just crazy.
Good, yeah.
And Miguel Francesco Ogar says that I have one developed palate. So here's the thing, right? I recognize that the food that I currently have in my place is not very fancy, and it's adequate. But, like, when I'm feeling fancy, I'm actually a pretty good cook. Like, you know, I like to make things like, you know, stuffed peppers or nice stews and all these nice things. But right now, I'm saving as much money as I can. And so that means, like, potatoes and grits is like a big part of my food stuff. In fact, I just had 15 pounds of grits delivered to my place. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yep. They'll last. As long as I keep them in the refrigerator, they'll last. So,
what is a grit?
You know, corn, hominy. Oh, you're talking about the alcohol? So I have some pretty strong opinions about which alcohols are good and which ones aren't. However, for Kent with Bent, I go cheap. Because, like, yeah, if I were to go fancy, first, I would drink too much. And second, I wouldn't be able to appreciate it by, like, this point in the episode.
It would ruin fancy alcohol for you, even when you're not watching.
Exactly. Then I would start to associate, like, I don't want to associate, like, a good Manhattan or a good martini with Kent Hovind. I want to associate bad, cheap rum with Kent Hovind. That's what I want to associate with.
Rum.
Yeah, basically. If I want some nice, fancy stuff, no, Kent Hovind isn't going to be involved. It'll be like, you know, hanging out at the pool with, like, a pina colada with, like, fresh pineapple juice and, like, a really nice quality rum. Or hanging out at my place talking with friends over, like, martinis or Manhattans or something that are well made, a little bit dirty on them. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about cocktails now because now it's just going to get me into an entire, like, rabbit trail that I don't need to go down. But yes, I like my martinis to be a little bit dirty and very little. Just wash the glass in dry vermouth. Okay. What? I have opinions on martinis, dude.
There's an Old Testament reference that the New Testament author is simply reiterating what he said. Everything is basically wearing out. It'll wax old as doth a garment. Garments gradually wear out.
Okay, I'm a Red Whale just said, if you like pina colada. Okay, dude, listen to that song. It's a really weird and creepy song. Like, it sounds like a fun-loving island song, but, like, it's about two people who are trying to cheat on each other.
With each other?
Yeah, well, there's that.
Fibers slowly eat against each other, and fragments fly off and make dust, and pretty soon it's real thin, and then pretty soon it falls apart.
Hey, that's why I bought
the universe is falling apart. This happens. You can see it. You can observe everything getting worse with time. Take a look at your hairdo when you wake up in the morning. You'll see what I'm talking about. Maybe fellas can help me. I've been trying to figure something out for...
So actually, I'm going to go ahead and say that it's actually not a bad representation of entropy to say hairdo. Because here's the thing, right? There are only a few ways for your hairs to arrange themselves in a way that looks like a hairdo if you have reasonably long hair, right? But there are essentially unlimited ways for them to arrange themselves in a way that just looks like a mess. So when your hairs are arranged more or less randomly, as a result of, say, tossing and turning in your sleep, the result is much less likely to look like a hairdo than it is to look like a random mess. And that's essentially what entropy is. The ways for the particles in a system to arrange themselves in a way that results in a macro state that can do work is way fewer than the ways that those same particles could arrange themselves in a state that just couldn't do work. And as processes are done in an isolated system, you tend to go towards the more numerous, less work-enabling microstates, which then all can be measured as the same kind of macrostate. So Kent, I'm actually going to get a drink for Kent getting this right, because I actually kind of like that analogy. I just wish he would follow through and, discuss how that doesn't actually matter for evolution.
It doesn't matter for evolution at all, so I won't take a drink for it.
All right, fair enough. Because it's Everclear or bad American beer is all Kent deserves. Actually, I'm going to come to the defense of Everclear. Everclear is basically slightly over double strength vodka, but it's actually pretty decent quality. Like, it tends not to have any weird aftertaste. It doesn't feel greasy or anything. So, like, if you cut Everclear with like the same volume of water, what you basically have is a good quality vodka. It's just that people don't think of it like that because it's so overproof that people tend to just use it to get as drunk as quickly as possible. But you don't have to do that. You can just treat it like essentially double strength vodka. So if a recipe calls for, like 8 ounces of vodka, put in like 3 1/4 or 3.5 ounces of Everclear and it'll be basically the same thing.
Long time. Been married 27 years now. My daughter's 20. Why does it take the girls an hour of hard work in the morning in order to look natural?
It doesn't. It takes them an hour of hard work in the morning to look very unnatural. I mean, I don't... What? I don't get it.
If you're trying to look natural, get up and go to work. That's natural, right? No.
I mean, maybe bathe first.
So he just said something stupid and then rebutted himself right afterwards? Like, I don't...
Yeah, let's take a drink for it, just because I'm thirsty.
I'll take a drink because it was pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Women be shopping. Kent Hovind, probably. What does that have to do? So I'm going to be a little kind of sort of sexist and then just rebut what I just said. For no reason.
Yeah.
Next topic.
Look natural. You don't want to smell natural either, do you?
No, I don't.
That's why we have whole sections of the store to sell stuff to overcome the second law of thermodynamics. Did you?
Okay, look, Kent Hovind, 1, told a joke that didn't land, and 2, told something that was true, which was, I don't want to smell natural, so I'm going to take 2 drinks.
I have to refill my vodka with my vodka I got from the vodka tap.
Yeah, that totally looks like vodka. Oh, and then Tyler West says, can't understand why Kent can't keep a wife. No, right? Oof, big oof for Kent. Rough. Alright, here we go.
Nearly everybody in the world is employed because of the second law of thermodynamics. You are either fixing something that somebody else made because it's wearing out now and breaking.
Who says I'm employed?
Fair enough.
You're building a new something because the last one broke, right?
You know what? I actually think he's probably roughly right that is the majority of jobs. So I'm going to give it to him and take a drink. I also don't know why it matters, but... Okay, so Miguel Francesco Ogar says, don't at me, but Vampire Coast, Lizardmen, and Tomb King are the best Warhammer factions. I mean, if we're going Warhammer 2, Total War Warhammer 2, then yeah, they are by far. And then I would say High Elves come in at a good 4th. And then I have sort of a fondness for Dark Elves. I don't know that they're really the best, but I like them. So, but yeah, by far, Vampire Coast, Lizardmen, and Tomb Kings are awesome. Yeah, I don't think there's any disagreement. Although, I also sometimes like to just do a Vampire Counts army and just, like, rush people with a bunch of zombies. And they all get distracted by the zombies, and then my actual army comes in, being able to, like, flank them, because they were all busy with, like, the tar pit that is a mob of zombies. And there's something satisfying about that. I don't know what it is. So, Icarus says Skaven? Pfft, no. Skaven, the only use for Skaven is to feed them to Sotek.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a bold claim.
No, I stand by it.
Really, if you think about it, that law employs just about the entire population of the world.
Maybe.
We have to work. To maintain. If you don't exercise, go work out. Second law of thermodynamics will take over, won't it?
No, that is not what that is. Kent, that's not what that is. Okay, Kent, here's what I want you to do. I know you're not going to watch this, but if you ever do, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take an out-of-shape fat person and an in-shape fit person, and then measure their relative ability to do work based on their temperature as given on the Kelvin scale. And then do that again and again and again until you have about like 500 or so for each type of person. Then once you do that and you provide your data set and methodology, then we can talk about whether or not that's an example of the second law of thermodynamics, because I don't think it is.
One guy said, I'm a bodybuilder. I'm building a big one. Look at this.
Who would win, Ceratosaurus or Carnotaurus? Probably Carnotaurus, just because I think it's a bit more massive. Look, okay, here's the thing, King Draco and everyone else. If you ask me who's going to win in a fight between two theropods, it's almost always going to be the heavier one. Yeah.
What if they're playing chess though?
Well, that's like a pigeon playing chess because pigeons are a theropod.
So which one would win?
Neither.
Okay. Just checking.
That's just a fact of science, folks. Everything's falling apart. But I want you to see what the textbook says. HBJ Earth Science says humans probably evolved from bacteria. Now hold it just a minute.
I kind of disagree, but I can see why they would say that.
Which of the 6 meanings of evolution would that be?
Macroevolution?
Macro. Changing from one kind to another.
Well, one, you're wrong about what macroevolution means, but you were right about it being macroevolution, so I'll take a drink.
Has anybody ever observed that?
Macroevolution? Yes. Directly observed bacteria becoming humans? No.
No. Bacteria are still having babies.
Yep.
And they're bacteria, right?
Yeah, Ken, look, your cousins are still having babies, and so are you. Okay. Yeah, that's all I have.
Humans have humans. Cats have cats. Nothing's ever been observed to indicate this is true. But this is in probably an 8th or 9th grade earth science book, where they tell the kids humans probably evolved from bacteria that lived more than 4 billion years ago. Now in this book they stretched it to 4 billion. As we go through the course, I'll show you lots of different textbooks. The number ranges all over from 3 billion to 4 billion.
All over.
Now if the universe
Brilliant.
Oh yeah.
Began 4.6 billion years ago. By the way, in 1905, you can look it up in an old encyclopedia, they officially say the Earth is 2 billion years old.
Okay, science over 100 years ago was less accurate than science is now. Shocker.
Just 100 years ago, they were saying it's 2 billion years old. Now they're saying it's 4.6 billion years old.
Yeah, a lot has happened in 100 years in science, Kent.
New
My goodness.
stuff has come to light. Okay, new evidence, right?
I'm taking
just looking at it.
Big old drink for that.
It's so dumb.
My goodness.
It's dishonest.
Wait, there's a Lego Star Wars Holiday Special? If it's not a shot-for-shot remake of the original Star Wars Holiday Special, I don't want to see it. But if it is, oh my goodness.
You still don't want to see it?
Send me a link. But have you seen...
Bad show.
Have you seen the original Star Wars Holiday Special?
You know, I've only seen Red Letter Media talk about it.
Oh my goodness, I've seen it. It is... it's sort of amazing that it exists. Like, that someone thought this would be a good idea.
Like, no one cared, and so they were just doing the outtakes and leaving them in.
No, they spent money on it. They got, like, celebrity guests, like, actual professional musicians who had real careers.
But the actors, though.
Well, I mean, they paid these people. Some of them were reasonably famous, like Harrison Ford.
Yeah, but did he phone it in, or did he give a real performance?
Harrison Ford actually probably gave the best performance. Mark Hamill sort of phoned it in.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at.
But to be fair,
how seriously did the actor take it? Now, my understanding is that when they made the first movie, they weren't phoning it in, but they thought it was absurd, and they didn't think anyone would like it. And they were kind of surprised when it was really popular.
I will.
That's just a rumor I've heard. I don't know if it's true.
Here's one thing I will give Mark Hamill though. It was very soon after his rather severe car crash where he had to go through a lot of surgeries and whatnot. So I kind of get why he was phoning it in.
Okay.
And also I get why they caked him in makeup and made him look plastic. Because he probably was still healing and didn't look too good. So but yeah. RJ and Truth liked the B. Arthur singing the Cantina song. It was kind of fun. I'll admit that's probably my favorite musical number is the B. Arthur Cantina song. Plus, I mean, they actually used like the Cantina set as far as I know, so that was cool. But like the elderly Wookiee being seduced in VR.
Don't spoil it,
man. That was. I
can't wait for that part.
I know. Yeah. No.
How elderly?
I mean, all of his fur is gray and his mouth is crooked, like he had a stroke or something.
Yikes.
Yeah. And I believe his name is Itchy.
It's probably a nickname he earned from... Alright, so let's see what Kent's got to say next.
Okay.
Guess what it'll be in another 50 years? Something bigger number,
more
right?
Accurate.
Kent, it hasn't changed from about 4.5 billion in decades. Like, I don't know what you want, but science gets better answers over time, and the better they get, the less they tend to change over time. Like, at this point, no one's going to say the Earth was 8 billion years old or 2 billion years old again. Like, that's it. We're done. Like, will it go to 4.6? 4.4? Yeah, sure, fine, whatever.
4.4632. I mean, it might,
Right.
Who knows what it'll get to.
Look.
What's that right now? What is it at?
So some people are here talking about like whether or not they should see the Star Wars special. If you really like really bad movies and you also are interested in the history of Star Wars media, then sure. If you're not
also, there's a lot of other Star Wars you could watch if you like really bad movies. There's also
that's true.
If you like good movies, you could watch some of it too.
So if you're in those two categories, then I would say yes, watch the Star Wars holiday special. If you're in only one of them or neither, just skip it. Do something else with your time.
The solution is always add more time. Back in 1770,
it's not a solution, Ken. It's what the evidence suggests.
Right. And the thing is,
but what is the difference between 2 billion and 4 billion years of Earth when it comes to like how life has evolved? Like, would it really make that much of a difference?
Not really.
It never was 2 billion. We're still like it doesn't make a difference, Kent.
Yeah.
Like that's his argument. They don't even know. Well, you don't know, Kent.
But actually, scientists do.
Evidence suggests what 4-ish billion. Go with the evidence.
I think I'm going to point out that like even if we're going to say that they were so wrong at 200%. Or sorry, at 2 billion years. I don't know why I said 200%, but 2 billion years. Like, at least they were in the right order of magnitude, Kent. You were quite a few orders of magnitude off, so... Yeah.
70,000 years old. The Earth is getting older, about 21 million years per minute.
Okay.
No.
So, in 2006, which is, I believe, when they said that this was the right, So between 2006 and now, shouldn't the Earth have been estimated to now be like, what? At least 6 billion years old? But no one says that. That's the thing.
No, they don't.
You're approaching the right answer, and over time, the rate at which the right answer, or the apparently right answer changes, goes down. Ilya Moon, you're going to play the first part in the morning? Well, thank you, and thank you for being here. Oh, there's Mothra. Drink from Mothra. No, drink from Mothra, the queen of the monsters, who dies in almost every movie that she's in. She doesn't die in a movie she's not in. I wanted to make that clear.
Spoilers.
Right.
I believe. It's getting old fast. This textbook shows the kids a fossil starfish, and it says...
I'm pretty sure that's a crinoid. Is that legible?
No. A view of the Earth's past. The Rock, second hobby, fantastic.
No, hold on,
Mary
hold on. The Rock record holds a fascinating story of the evolution of life on Earth. Fossils such as these shown in the photo on this page, a rich diversity of plant and animal life. They may range from evidence of a single-celled something 3.4 billion years old, million? I don't know. In the early oceans of something and human beings. This chapter discusses the oh my goodness. What is that? The something of geologic time divisions. There you go. And the evidence of evolution of living things
throughout the Earth's history. I can get like little bits here or there. The smaller on the screen, on the stream on YouTube, and then on the.
That was like decoding the Rosetta Stone. Kent, get higher resolution images. My goodness, this is just terrible.
Single cell monster.
And RJM Truth also agrees with me that looks like a crinoid. Is it crinoid or crinoid? I don't even know. Or is it crinoid? Ooh, there we go. But yeah, that's not a sea star. It's a crinoid. But
I definitely don't know.
Oh, come on. Get up to date with your Paleozoic fossil stuff. Anyway, let's take a quick break. We're about the hour mark, which is usually where we take a quick break. So I am going to go ahead and switch to our intermission. We will be back. I'm going to fill up on my drink. And we only have about 6 minutes left. We've already gone through 10 minutes, so I think we can get through this. What do you think, Bent?
Yeah, I think we'll probably end up a little early even, maybe.
All right, well, let's say this. Since there's so little, it's not worth doing another episode. Even if we go a little bit over, let's go through all of it. Or at least until Kent just starts preaching.
Well, if there's 6 minutes, he might start preaching in it might be soon, so.
Okay,
yeah.
So that'll be a deal. All right, we will see you shortly. All right, we're out. 誰? おう、ゴジラですか? Hi, Gojira-san. Hi. Alright, well, definitely there were no mistakes there. Everything that just happened was completely intentional, I swear. So, there definitely were no mistakes in the, you know, like, the production of this live stream. I guarantee everything that just happened was on purpose. And I'm also still...
Good job, you noticed. That was a test. You passed.
Yeah, you guys noticed. So you guys get to stick around. Otherwise, I would have had to ban all of you! Every last one of you.
Without Bent, and no one wants that.
Well, no, I wouldn't have banned you. I would have banned the audience. It would still be Kent with Bent, just no one would be watching.
Oh, so like when we first used to do it.
Well, some people watched. There were a few.
No, before you were streaming it, though.
Oh, yeah, when it was just you and me watching some Kent Hovind nonsense.
The only difference is we wouldn't pause.
Who would win, Giganotosaurus or Spinosaurus? So Spinosaurus is one of the few exceptions to my whoever's more massive. And by massive, I literally mean whoever has more body mass. So Spinosaurus is so highly adapted for piscivore that it has a more limited ability to cause damage just to general animals overall. Like, its snout is very narrow, and it doesn't have quite the thick musculature in the neck and feet that, say, a Carcharodontosaur like Giganotosaurus has. So, Spinosaurus actually, I think, would lose to T-Rex. I think it would lose to most similarly sized theropods, and I definitely think it would lose to Giganotosaurus, which I realize is probably heavier than Spinosaurus, so it's not really an exception in this case. But still, Spinosaurus is one of my few exceptions to the who would win, and I just say the heavier one. So, yeah. Giganotosaurus, I think, would definitely win against Spinosaurus. Yeah. That's my my answer to that. And also, it's my pronunciation for Giganotosaurus. In case anyone wants to know, my pronunciation rules for various taxa, and these aren't necessarily just for me, this is sort of like when I'll correct you, is don't skip consonants, don't skip vowels, give them a reasonable pronunciation in each case, and then I'm just not going to care. You want to call it Dunkleosteus? Okay. You want to call it Dunkleosteus? Okay. You want to call it Giganotosaurus? Okay. You want to call it Giganotosaurus? Okay. Fine. Don't care. You want to call it Neanderthal? Fine. You want to call it Neanderthal? I don't, but I don't mind if you do. There you go. Alright, let's get some more Kent in here.
Nearly 3.4 billion years old, the remains of the early ancestors of modern human beings.
Okay.
Would you agree?
This is Whole Earth Science 1989. Dude, this thing was already like almost 30 years old when you gave this speech. Why? It was like, and Kent was like, I collect textbooks. Maybe you should start collecting recent textbooks, Kent.
Great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpa Starfish? Isn't this answering the question, where did I come from?
Yeah, kinda.
Not very well, but that's what they're trying to answer, isn't it? Evolution is a religion that seeks to answer the four great questions.
Not very well, Kent.
I mean, he thinks he's been explaining that. But also, I'm going to take a drink for Kent Hovind saying that evolution is a religion. Even if you think it's wrong, that doesn't make it a religion.
That's a stupid thing to say.
Rugops versus Spino? Spino. Rugops is too small. Assuming the Rugops holotype is an adult, which, maybe. I'm just going to go ahead. Rugops was so tiny that no, Spino would wreck it. Why don't we just claw it to death? It doesn't even matter about the jaws.
Of life. Where did I come from? Oh, I came from a starfish.
No one. I'm taking a drink. No one thinks you came from gosh darn starfish. I'm gonna have to talk to some of my Mormon friends about
some people might think that, but they'd be wrong.
Well, yeah. I'm gonna have to talk to some of my Mormon friends about various ways that they avoid swearing and that the weird Mormon quote unquote curse words that they use. Because they're all PG-13 or PG, so I'm gonna have to brush up on Mormon approved curse words.
I try not to swear, but now I'm swearing a made up swear word in Klingon.
Oh yeah, you want to tell people
it's not a made up word? It's a word that isn't a swear word, but I'm making it a swear word. Yich.
Yich. What does yich mean literally?
Tribble.
Okay. Nice.
Which Klingons hate tribbles in Star Trek. If you didn't know that, watch The Trouble with Tribbles.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to take this as a little quick teaching opportunity, especially since we've only got 6 minutes left, and we got 45 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So starfish are in Echinodermata, which is sister group to what is it? Chordata, or a slightly larger group. It's basically Chordata. There's some debate as to whether or not we should really include tunicates in Chordata, but I'm going with it. And T. Lane, you spelled that wrong. Don't capitalize that Y. The Y is lowercase in Yich. My goodness, T. Lane. It's like you don't know any Klingon at all. Which actually, today... So this is a little bit of a spoiler alert, although it's very mild. Today, I wrote my first business email entirely in Klingon. That's a thing that happened today. So, yeah. And it was sent to someone who read it in Klingon and then responded having read it. So, that was fun.
Responded in Klingon?
So, Donald Edwards, I'm not sure what you're trying to do, but if you're trying to type an R with a whole lot of E's afterwards as a re, I'm seeing one above at 712.
I see one at 712 also, yeah.
But,
right.
If you type too many, the automatic YouTube filter will just flag it as spam. That's why.
I saw Rees earlier, and then I saw you say, "Where are my Rees?" This is an hour ago, and I couldn't see them anymore. But yeah. They had been theirs, and I had seen them. So I didn't comment on it, but yeah, I did notice.
So we're close. Miguel asks, so we're closer related to Patrick Star than ants? Yes, a lot closer. Yep. Would your German Ferment asks, would your dino pronunciation, wouldn't Velociraptor be correct? Actually, yeah, I wouldn't object to Velociraptor. So that would actually, Velociraptor would be a little weird. I wouldn't object, although I would super not object to Velociraptor, which would actually be the the classical pronunciation of the Latin Velociraptor. Most people end up using the ecclesiastical Latin pronunciation in scientific terms, but if you decide to just super go right into the Reconstruction pronunciation that linguists use, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. In fact, you're probably more right than using the ecclesiastical pronunciation, which is basically reading the words as if they were Latin, or not Latin, Italian, modern Italian. So, yeah, I would say Velociraptor would be perfectly fine. Now, people might not know what you mean, but,
Look at this one. 30 million years ago.
Oh. Where does it say that?
I stopped right there. I said, kids, let me translate that for you. What that really means is long ago and far away.
No, it doesn't.
It means a fairy tale is coming next.
Well, actually, 30 million years ago, that would still have been far away from where I am, but not everywhere. Where are mollusks closer related to Echinodermata or Osteichthyes? Neither. They're equally related to both, Miguel. Mollusks are deuterostomes, so they're more closely related to insects than they are to echinoderms or Osteichthyes, and they're both equally close to... so mollusks are just as closely related to echinoderms as they are to chordates like Osteichthyes. Icarus says Hovjet Voch? That doesn't sound like a word. I'm going to double check, because maybe it is a word.
Probably means Hovind something, I don't know.
I'm gonna search for it.
Oh, and no, I don't know. I'm just gonna listen for Kent to talk again.
What? You don't want to help me find out if Hojet Voch is a word?
It's technically not dead air, but it feels like dead air. No,
it's not a word. That's not a word. Oh, I did say mollusks are deuterostomes, and I swapped the words with protostomes. Yeah, mollusks are protostomes. I'm sorry.
How dare you?
Yeah, I blame the rum and Kent. Kent kills my brain cells.
Yeah, the rum could do that. Yeah, the rum could do that.
Could Homo naledi ride a Daspletosaurus?
How much rum did Kent drink back in the day? My goodness.
He claims to have never had a drop. I have no reason to dispute that. But here we go.
That's your warning right there. Fairy tale coming up.
Not
30 million years ago, these creatures evolved. Now, there's that word again.
Yeah, evolved.
It says they're ancestral to both humans
monkeys and apes. I mean, the words are in there for a reason, Kent.
Yep.
Oh.
It's frustrating, isn't it?
Next, reply to Kent only in Klingon. Yeah, I could do that. I'll just be saying "yich" the whole time. That dang troll.
Modern apes. Now, hold on a minute. Apes are still having babies, aren't they?
Yeah. Okay.
Why don't they produce another human?
Because
this time, let's
not
watch.
how monophyly works.
Some apes produce humans every time they give birth. Those are called the human apes, Kent.
Yeah,
think about what the words you're using mean, Kent. They actually mean things.
Also, for some reason, Icarus, the link is not working.
It worked for me. It just took forever to
all right. Well, maybe it is taking forever.
See how it happens long ago and far away, but it can't happen in the present?
No, wait. Okay, I'm taking another drink because my goodness, that's stupid.
Evolution.
Oh, here we go. Evolution. Here's the thing on Dictionary, Chapter 3. Oh, that's just word type. Source: email to Lieven Latar, October 20. Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense as to why I haven't heard of it then, and why the app.
Oh, the word has only been around for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. So fair enough. I guess that's why I didn't see it. Okay. Well, fair enough. You know what? Hojet Voch is evolution. Thanks. And also, I really want to give a shout out, not that anyone cares, to Lieven Latar, who is a Klingon speaker from Germany. He's one of the best Klingon speakers in the world, and he has regular correspondence with Mark Okrand, who is the creator of the Klingon language. And if it weren't for him, we would have far fewer Klingon words, which would make me sad. So I hope that gets added to my dictionary app ASAP. But yeah, that it's only been a word for 3 weeks explains why no one is familiar with it.
Yeah.
Like, my goodness.
Very interesting.
Yeah, that is one of the things about Klingon, though, is like the vocabulary is, there's new words coming out all the time, and so yeah.
Why is half of Hovind twice in the Klingon word for evolution?
That actually, I wouldn't put it past Mark Okrand to make that intentional. A lot of his new words are jokes. So
Nuke. What do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're hiding behind something that cannot be observed. It's not science.
It is
what they're saying is
science. Everything you're saying is wrong. Every sentence.
So Donald Edwards asks, what weird thing about Klingon is hello, nuknech, literally translates to what do you want? So it's not actually true that it's a hello. So it's used when someone enters your space but haven't stated their business yet. The polite thing to do in Klingon is to, without preamble, simply state your business, right? You might call someone's name to grab their attention if you don't already have it, but that's the closest thing you're going to get to a hello. But if someone enters like your shop or something, or your place of business, or even your home, and they haven't stated what they want, then the polite way to get them to do so is to say nuknech. Because, maybe they're shy or something. You can bring them out of that shell by saying nuknech. And then hopefully they tell you what you want, or what they want. So like maybe they're, I don't know, maybe they're looking for food or something, and they can say, "Shodvinech," and you can say, "Okay, here, I've got some food." Like, Shodviraj. There you go. Anyway, Kent Hovind, let's Klingon. If you want more Klingon, tune in on Top Hats Off on Saturdays for the House of Torg. Oh, drink for Godzilla. Yeah, I don't know how you guys are derailing me so much. We only have 5 minutes. Let's get through it.
Grandpa. Now, subconsciously, what does this do to the kid? Well,
that's a
I'm
joke
just an
that
animal.
didn't land. I'm going to drink.
Which one was it?
If I have animal instincts,
I missed the joke. What did you
it's normal. It's natural.
Basically, he called an I grandpa, which is stupid, and I think it was a joke, but I drank for it.
I get it. Yeah, I get it, because he's stupid.
Yeah.
It's a joke, but it's also stupid, because that's not how that works.
Well, I mean, that's all of his jokes.
No, I like his dad jokes, because I like dad jokes.
Fair enough.
Cool.
I hope to be a dad someday.
Can you see how this ties in?
Thanks, Michael.
Barbara Reynolds figured it out. She's a liberal journalist. Your kids go ape in school?
Wait,
here's
Barbarella?
why. Right there. She said, he's
Barbara
being
Reynolds.
taught evolution.
Okay, Barbara Reynolds. I really thought he said Barbarella, like the sci-fi movie. So I was like, wait a minute, what?
If Barbara Reynolds says this, whatever I can't see, these are just lines on paper. I don't know. It must be.
Must be true. Wait, wasn't Barbara Reynolds the name of the mom from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I don't know.
Someone confirm who Dennis and Dee from It's Always Sunny's mom was. And if it's Barbara Reynolds, then that'll be great.
Johnny?
It's probably the same person.
You're an animal.
Oh, Miguel Francisco Ogar said, I thought it was a tarsier. Are AIs tarsiers? I don't actually know.
Barbara Reynolds' mother.
It is! Oh, yes!
I wonder if it's the same one.
They don't look anything alike, so I'm going to go ahead and say no.
What does that have to do with anything?
Fair enough.
Really? This book used right here. Washington High School uses it. Tate High School uses it. Pensacola High
Uses it or used it? Because Kent, by the time you gave this speech, it was over 10 years old.
School uses it. That book right now, they're using it now. You are an animal. Share a common heritage with earthworms.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean I'm just an animal? Huh.
What do you mean just an animal? I'm taking a drink because I am so sick of people saying just a whatever.
Right.
There is nothing wrong with being an animal or a eukaryote or an opisthecon or going up the other way, a chordate or a mammal or a primate or an ape. None of these are bad things per se. What would you rather be? You pick another part of the tree of life and tell me you would rather be that thing. Would you rather be a parasodactyl? You could be like a horse or a rhino. I don't know, I guess. I don't have anything against either of those things. Like, what do you... I'm so tired of creationists saying, oh, you think that humans are just, and then fill in the blank with a taxon. I think they are that thing, but I don't know what you mean by just that thing. Like, it's just an emotional way of dismissing that because you think that it sounds bad to be that thing. But you could just not be bigoted against your own ancestry. That's a thing you could do.
Okay. And you wonder. Some of them make you wonder, don't they, you know?
Oh, so you actually do think that what punk rockers look like apes? I don't even know what I'm supposed to take away from this. Kent Hovind doesn't like punk rock, apparently. That's all I got. Also, this is like one of his worst cartoons ever. This is terrible.
Mm-hmm. We sit back and wonder, why do the kids act like animals? Well, look what you're teaching them. Then an idiot.
So, Donald Edwards says, Hutch, Kent Hovind, which the grammar's a little bit off there, but I get it. You're trying to say that he's dishonorable. But, yeah, he is.
Get news when some kid shoots another kid in school, which is happening all the time these days.
Okay, even at this point, about 2006, school shootings had been on a decline for about 25 years in the United States on a per capita basis. Or maybe it's like a per 100,000 population, whatever. Because, you know, if you do per capita, you get tiny fractions, so they, like, bump it up a few orders of magnitude.
If you're interested, look up school shootings throughout U.S. history. If you're in the U.S., they go back pretty far.
Or even if you're not. It's not like, even if you're somewhere else, you can still get the stats. But yeah, school shootings are down. What's up is media coverage. That's what's up. It's media coverage. School shootings are actually still on a steady decline, along with murder rates. Murder rates peaked in the U.S. somewhere around the 70s, and they've basically been declining ever since. And, interestingly enough, they reached a very particularly low point during the so-called Wild Wild West period that was supposedly full of cattle rustling and bank robberies and shootouts. Turns out, check the statistics, no, it was actually one of the safest times in terms of violent crime in the entire history of the United States.
Wasn't that really only like a 20-year period or so? Or that was
20 or 30, yeah.
Kind of how things were.
Yeah, 20 or 30 years.
Those lucky people who were in their prime during that time. Man.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, the only thing I would have needed was one of these guys, and I would have thrived.
Ian Chen says, I like it that you Americans mentioned the decline of school shootings. I mean, if you look into it, you can find stats for virtually any category of crime that you would like to, because the United States takes copious crime stats.
Yeah, because
it's crazy. It's usually compiled by like the FBI, and it's publicly available. But like they keep track of like every reported crime in every state and territory in terms of like what was the crime, race, sex, age of offender, and then people can
all
compile.
The demographics.
Yeah, essentially anything that you can say factually about the crime. Age, race, sex of victim, age, race, sex of offender, weapons used, if any, all of this stuff just gets compiled, and then you can pull in that raw data and get charts. So, yeah. Now, one thing that complicates it a little bit is the U.S. has a different definition for violent crime than other countries do. It's actually a little bit more narrow than many other Anglosphere countries. So, it's one of the reasons why you get like an oddly high violent crime rate reported in Britain. It's compared to the U.S. It's mostly because in Great Britain, crimes that the U.S. wouldn't count as violent are counted there, which is one of the reasons why sometimes you get sort of far-right U.S. Politicians or pundits saying that the UK has a much higher violent crime rate. It doesn't really, but on paper, it kind of looks like it does. But anyway, here's more Kent Hovind.
Last week, they jump on the gun control issue, don't they? They're trying to focus the attention away from the real problem, which is what we're teaching them.
No. Look, I'll agree with you.
I'm pretty sure we're teaching people not to kill other people, but some people do it anyway. So.
Yeah, I will agree that there is some debate to be had as to whether or not it is simply access to guns that is the problem. And yeah, there's an argument to be had there. But you're going to have to do a whole lot to convince someone that it's just evolution, therefore you should kill people. Like, that doesn't follow.
Like, if you believe in evolution, there's school shootings now. If you just believed in creation in 6,000 years, there'd be no school shootings.
All right. Well, bye, Andrew Cumming. Thank you for coming. There you go. See, use your last name.
You ought to get some of the school books, or some of the articles about the 10 most common problems in school in 1870. Chewing gum.
What?
Late to class. What would the teacher's list now as the 10 most common problems? Guns in...
No, Kent. The 10 most common problems in school do not include... Oh, I'm struggling so hard not to curse. I'm taking a drink. Look, you run the numbers. The vast majority of school children will never be in school with a gun carried by anyone who is either a student or anyone from outside the school who is intending to do harm. Now, I can't say...
Schools even have security guards that have any gun. Is there any gun in a school ever?
I think some of the cops that are in some inner city schools have guns. But yeah, guns in school is certainly not one of the most common problems. I guarantee you that cell phone use, chatter in class, passing notes, absenteeism, bullying without guns. Oh, there's one from Mothra. I guarantee you all of these things and many more. Failure to do homework assignments. Sleeping in class. All of these are more common than guns in schools, Kent. Oh my goodness. Oh.
School. I mean, come on. This is all part of the plan, folks. There's a much bigger plan behind all this.
Oh my goodness.
The whole purpose...
Taking a drink for conspiracy theories.
...of public education, free government education, was Karl Marx's idea.
Okay.
1846 or 48. The communist.
I don't even care to dispute this. I don't really know or care if Karl Marx was the first person to come up with publicly funded education. It just doesn't matter.
Manifesto. He gave 10 things to do to destroy a country, to make it communist.
Well, that's not destroying it in his book, but okay.
Number 10 on his list was free government education. 9 or 10. We can look at it. We get into more of that in video number 5, how this ties together. But we teach the kids they're an animal, and we stand back and marvel that they act like animals.
What would it mean for a kid to not act like an animal? Kids literally are animals, so any way in which they act...
They act like a plant. Hold still.
Hold still,
go up. Hold still and photosynthesize.
Yeah, hold still outside and face the sun.
All right, so number 1, abolition of private property and land and application of all rents of land to public purpose. Is that what Kent said?
Well, no, he said it was 9 or 10.
Oh, number 9 or number 10? Yeah, number 10, free education for all children in government schools, abolition of children's factory labor in its present form, combination of education with industrial production, et cetera, et cetera.
I like the phrase, in its current form. It's like, no, they're still going to work in the factories, but we're not going to pay them. We're going to just, have everything in common. Oh, okay.
Well, a combination of free education with industrial production, so the kids work for free, and then they get paid in schooling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. In case anyone is wondering, while I don't talk much about my politics, I'm definitely not a big fan of Karl Marx. So, well, there you
go. Excuse me.
If a kid thinks, I'm made in God's image and I'm...
Okay, so Donald Edwards said, Huklod Witkutmech. Is that correct? I mean, it depends on what you're trying to say, but, like, that's a sentence. It means for the purposes of drinking my son, which that it's grammatical. It wouldn't be a full sentence, but like, I don't know. It's a weird thing to say. Why are you drinking your son? That's weird. Don't drink your son. Don't do that. You shouldn't.
I'm not going to judge.
No, I'm going to. If you consume your children, that's bad.
I'm going to stand before God someday. That may not stop him from doing every crime, but it'll sure help, don't you think? It can't hurt. Now, there have been a lot of horrible things done in the name of Christianity and in the name of various religions. I'm aware of all that.
Okay.
But if you tell all the kids there is no creator, you will never be judged.
I'm taking a drink because nothing but evolution says there is no creator. Now, if you want to say that because evolution is true, you no longer believe in a creator, I'm also not going to stop you because, again, don't really care. But, yeah. Donald Edwards is making me think at some point I'm just going to do a Klingon stream. We just talk about Klingon. It would have to be on my other channel, though.
Judged for anything that you do. All he's got to do is figure out a way to get by. He's got to be more clever. That's all. Folks, this philosophy is so dangerous. Next week, we're going to talk about...
I thought it was a religion. Whatever.
Teachers can teach creation science in a public school.
All right, well, now he's just talking about what's going to happen next week, and since we're just going to be here for that, I don't feel any particular need to let him finish, because, I mean, yeah, we're going to hear it. So, who cares? Also, no spoilers, right? And also, Donald Edwards, tell me what you did mean, and maybe I can help with that. If you guys are using, like, machine translation for Klingon, it's not going to work from English. Machine translation is generally bad, and it's especially bad going from most languages to Klingon. So, yeah. So, anyway, Bent, do you have anything that you want to plug or talk about before we head out?
Coppermagma.com.
Okay.
$180 left to donate if you want me to wear a tutu next time.
Well, I mean, it's going to reset, so.
And, all that. That's it, I think.
Okay, well, one, I want to answer a question for RJM Truth, who says, I'd have to learn some Klingon. Is it harder than Svenska? So, Svenska being Swedish, its grammar is definitely a lot easier than Svenska, but the vocab is probably going to be a lot more difficult for Klingon. So, you will be able to form sentences with the vocabulary you have much more quickly with Klingon than you will with Swedish. However, it's going to take you a long time to build up the same level of vocabulary that you could with Swedish. So, there you go. Let's see. Megan Fox Giant Boob says, "Isn't that what capitalism teaches you, to be more clever than those around you, to exploit them?" No, it is not. I would disagree that is what capitalism teaches. So there you go. Let's see. Then Miguel says, "Have you heard of Top Hats Off? It's a great channel." It is a great channel. Yeah, I have heard of it. If any of my my mods want to put a link to Top Hats Off in the description, or not description, in the chat, please feel free to click on that link and go subscribe. Yeah. So let's see. I think that's it. Oh, you're drinking to the dishonesty. That's a tricky one. So let's see. Let's see. What would I say? Yudmo Vikyuk. That's what I would say. Yudmo Vikyuk, which means because he's dishonest, I am drinking. If you want to be more specific, you might say Yudmo Kent. You could just use the English word, whatever. Kent. Vikyuk. Or Vikyuk. More accurately, I'm drinking. Or because if you intend to stop at some point, you could say Vikyuk le. Because le is similar to tach in that it's a continuous aspect, but it implies that you have an intentionality and an end goal in mind. So, there you go. And actually, you know what? Leave comments or something in on this video if you actually would be interested in a Top Hats Off discussion on Klingon as a language, because I'd be willing to do that.
I'd be there for that.
Yeah, if that's the thing you want to see, we can go there. It could be fun. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. So I think, what else is there? So I am almost done with the video for Thursday, which is going to be. This is it. This is the final update for Phase 2 of the Speculative Evolution project. That's it. After this one, the next video on Speculative Evolution, which is hopefully coming the week after, so Thursday after next, Thanksgiving, if you're in the US. Hopefully, that will be my video introducing Phase 3, letting you know everything that went extinct between Phase 2 and Phase 3, explaining the extinction event, new geography, new climate, new rules for creatures. I'm going to have a template for submissions, so all the submissions can be consistent. There's going to be a style guide. And I will warn you now, if you do not follow the template or the style guide, you will not have your creature accepted until you do. And I am not going to spend a whole lot of my time sending rejection letters, depending on how many submissions I get. So please, before you submit a creature, check out what is going to be linked in the description and talked about in the video, which is going to be the style guide and template, which is going to be in a single Google Drive, or not Google Drive, Google Docs file. So, yes, TD-Ling already knows what went extinct. In fact, all of my members and patrons have access to the list of what's going to go extinct, because I already have that set. It was about a third or so of all the organisms from Phase 2 went extinct. Oh, take a drink for Godzilla. So, yeah, if you do want that list early, if you're a big fan of the Spec Evo project and you want to start like concepting Phase 3 stuff and you need that list, a channel member or a patron is the way to go. Again, that starts at either $1 for patrons at the lowest tier or $1.99 for members at the lowest tier. I upped it a little bit for members just because YouTube takes a bigger cut of member money than Patreon does of patron money. So, sorry. And of course, there are higher tiers that give you access to more benefits. So there's that. But if you don't want to or can't afford to, please do not give me your money. I do not want money from anyone who doesn't want to give it and can't afford it. So, Miguel asks if I had any zoo suggestions to watch on YouTube. Not entirely sure what you mean, but like, I would say like check out some of the like the Primate live cams that you can find on the internet. Yeah, that's always fun. Well, it's usually fun when they're about doing stuff. So it's going to depend.
It can be fun.
Look for one nearby, so that way the time of day corresponds roughly with yours. Because most most apes. Actually, I can actually go as far as to say most primates. Most primates are mostly diurnal. There are some nocturnal and some like crepuscular. That covers most primates, but yeah, the majority of them are diurnal. Hence the trichromatic vision, right? Because if you're nocturnal, there's not much point in trichromatic vision because everything's going to be low light, so who cares? But apes are especially likely to be diurnal. So yeah, check out like some ape cams near you is what I would say. And yeah, San Diego Zoo has live. I love the San Diego Zoo. I used to go there basically every time I was in San Diego, which, as Bent would know, is we used to be there pretty often. Yeah, we were there a lot. And it was free with the military ID, so that was a fun thing. And I remember I took my parents there once, and at first they didn't get why I would go to the zoo all the time. But after taking a quick ride on the ship from Hawaii to San Diego, they realized, oh, this is as far different from the ship as you can possibly get, and it's free.
Basically,
we totally get that now. This is why you go all the time. And I was like, yeah, exactly. There's a botanical garden. There's all these animals. There's open air. Yeah, this is the most different I can get. So anyway, I think that's it for me. Like I said, Thursday, the final update for Phase 2. I have no idea if anything is happening Saturday, and if nothing comes up, it probably will just be nothing on this channel. However, no matter what happens on this channel, on Top Hats Off, there is going to be the next, the continuation of Episode 3 of House of Torg, which is our Star Trek roleplay game stream. There are currently 4 videos of that on Top Hats Off. Feel free to binge those if you want. It's a lot of fun. We get together, we roleplay Star Trek stuff, we have fun. Sometimes bad things happen, sometimes good things happen.
No, always bad things happen.
No, that's not true. You've never failed a mission yet.
I suck at that game.
You do not. I don't think you do.
No, I don't. It's just I've never done this type of game before, so it's a learning experience.
Oh yeah, this is actually a fair few people's first RPG. So, well, tabletop RPG.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. T Lane said we may or may not save the tree ship. Accurate.
Yeah.
You would know what that meant, everybody, if you had watched the previous episodes. But anyway, that's going to be it for me. This is a slightly shorter than normal episode. So thank you very much for coming, all of you who did. And I want to give a special thank you to everyone who super chatted, which is Pichu, Ian Chen, and Maya Atkinson. It is very, very much appreciated. Your support means a lot to me. It really does. I know that always sounds insincere coming from YouTubers, but it really isn't. Yeah, thank you. I hope I will see you Thursday in the premiere for the next Speculative Evolution video. Bye, everybody.
See ya.